Hey everyone, in this video I'm going to be painting the inside of my shed. So I've got some OSB on all the walls in there, which I'm going to be priming and painting white so that I can film some better content in there. Follow along, I'm going to show you how I paint and I'm going to share some tips and tricks along the way. Alright, hey everyone, so I'm getting ready to paint the inside of the shed. As you can see, the walls are OSB and I want to prime them first. So this is my go-to primer. It's called Zinsser Bullseye 123 and it's good for priming a bunch of different surfaces. So this stuff is good for oil, latex, it's good for wood, masonry, concrete, plastic, drywall, a number of different things. I'd highly recommend it and it's fairly cheap, water-based as well, so it's easy to clean. Okay, I'm gonna open this up, stir it up quick, I'll fast forward through this.
If you're buying a new can of paint, have the store shake it up. If not, you need to stir it thoroughly. Use a stir stick.
Okay, I've got the paint mixed up thoroughly, so now I'm going to pour it into my tray.
Make sure your tray is clean before you pour in the paint, and generally you only want to fill up a third of the tray with paint.
This is an important tip. Before you start painting, you need to delint a paint roller. Even though these are new and sometimes they say lint free, they still have lint on. So I'm going to show a trick to remove the excess lint so it doesn't go on your walls. Brand new roller, and I've got some painter's tape here. I'm going to wrap the entire roller with tape, and this is going to remove any loose lint so that it doesn't go on our walls. Just like that, I wrap the roller with tape and I squeeze it on. Now I'm going to remove it and I'll show you how much lint comes off of this.
I can't stress the importance of doing this. It prevents the lint from being on your finished walls. Look at all the lint that's stuck on this tape. Depending on what roll you get, some of them are better, some are worse, but even the ones that are microfiber or say lint-free always still have loose lint, so do this every time.
So as you can see, there's quite a bit of lint that came off the roller. If it's really bad, you might have to do it a couple times. So now we're ready to use this. I'm going to be painting this OSB wall, which is quite rough. When you're painting, you need to make sure you get the right roller for the job. As you can see, these two rollers look totally different. This is quite a bit more thick. So this is meant for rough finishes, just like OSB. Since it's thicker, it's going to get in all these cracks and gaps and give us a nice clean coverage. And this is meant for smooth finishes, like new drywall. So make sure you get the right roller for the job before you start. All right, let's get to painting. So we want to saturate this roller. To do that, push it into the paint, pull it back. This is going to saturate the roller nicely. I'm going to get to painting this wall. I'm going to fast forward through it, but I'm going to walk you through the technique I use to paint.
Load your roller starting at the top, make a vertical pass going downward, and then make your next pass in the opposite direction, so starting at the bottom and going upward. Do this another 2 times so you have 4 vertical passes, and then what I like to do is go horizontally. So start at the top and you're going to go horizontally and roll until you get halfway down the wall, move to the bottom and do the same from the bottom up to the middle of the wall. This is going to spread all that paint out evenly, making sure it fills in all the gaps and cracks, and then do one last roll vertically. This is going to make sure that you have nice coverage, and that's the technique. So 4 vertical passes in the opposite direction, roll it out horizontally and then vertically one last time, and you can do this all the way down throughout your wall. If you want to use a pole, you can. The pole makes it a little bit easier on your back. It all depends on what you have for personal preference. Now for rolling a ceiling, it is the exact same technique as rolling a wall, except it's overhead and you're going to need to use a pole. So again, 4 vertical passes and then horizontally and roll it back out vertically. I like to do 4 passes because it prevents the paint from drying. If you do too many passes, the paint can start to dry and you can get bad coverage. I was shown to paint this way by somebody with 30 years of painting experience. There are different techniques that allow you to paint walls faster, but this ensures that you get nice even coverage, no streaks, and you always get a perfect finish. Here's another trick that I like to do when I have a brand new can of paint. Take the lid off and then using a slot screwdriver and a hammer, tap 4 holes in the rim. Now after you finish pouring the paint, you can simply take a brush, swipe it across the rim, and it will drain all the paint back into the bucket so that it doesn't get clogged. I'm putting a second coat of paint on these walls. As you can see, this first coat was see-through, and I'm going to be doing a lot of videography in here, so I want a nice crisp white on the walls and ceiling. When it comes to painting, the more you do, the better and the faster you become at it. The technique I showed in this video is very beginner friendly. You'll get a nice finish, and it's easy to learn.
Alright guys, I've got 2 coats of primer on these walls. So as you can see, it is pretty close to being finished. It's nice and bright, but you can still see through this, so I'm going to put 1 more coat of paint on. It's really hard to see on video, but you can still see some dark wood here, so 1 more coat of paint should cover this. I'm going to coat this 1 more time, let it dry overnight, and then hopefully that's it for the painting.